I, 28 female, am supposed to get married to my fiance, Elliot, 28 male, in 2 months. I have been dreaming of this wedding for a while because Elliot and I have been dating for over 7 years. Yes, I know that a lot of you will be surprised about why we waited so long to get married. Well, we had some personal reasons to wait. We got engaged a while ago and decided on a wedding date only a year ago. Everything was going well until I had to call the cops on my sister-in-law, Chrissy, 25 female. Chrissy thought that she could get away with stealing from me and had expected me to just bow down and accept her demands. She wanted to have my diamond earrings that I was going to wear to my wedding. According to her, the earrings would look much better on her than on me. I strictly told her that I won't be giving her my jewelry, especially because it has sentimental value to me. However, my sister-in-law wouldn't take no for an answer. She first tried to bother me and drive me crazy by texting and calling me to tell me how the earrings were a perfect match for her. I don't even know what that means. I only know that she fell in love with those earrings and wanted them for herself. I will say that initially Chrissy acted very nicely and sort of begged and pleaded with me to get my earrings. She would tell me how it was always a dream of hers to have a pair like mine. For reference, the earrings are 4 carats each, so 8 carats in total. The diamonds are in a beautiful oval cut and look absolutely stunning when worn. Anyone would look good wearing it, so the sister-in-law wasn't someone special. She could have easily bought something like this for herself if she had saved some money. But Chrissy is unemployed and pregnant. She stays with her parents and is completely dependent on them. My in-laws don't mind it, of course. She's the golden child in the family, per se. My fiancé may not be the scapegoat, but he is nothing compared to their princess daughter. I'm not even kidding here, guys. Chrissy still calls herself the family princess and wears a tiara to all of her birthdays. Some people may think this is cute, but in person, her antics are absolutely creepy and absurd. Everyone other than my fiancé thinks that it's cute, though. Anyway, when Her Highness couldn't get what she wanted, she started throwing some major tantrums. Slowly, she changed her tactics and straight up demanded that I hand over my earrings to her. I was getting tired of her behavior, and telling her no wasn't even helping anymore. With the stress of the wedding preparations, I was going crazy dealing with Christie's antics. I couldn't even be rude to her because then she would go crying to my in-laws about how I was bullying a pregnant woman. Chrissy makes full use of her pregnancy in these situations. She really thought that she could leverage her pregnancy and emotionally manipulate me into giving her those earrings. She said that I need to think about the family and how it would be so nice if I gave her the earrings as a present for being a bridesmaid. She also commented that someday she would pass down these earrings to her unborn daughter, and she would be so grateful that I had given Chrissy the earrings. She used all kinds of stupid and messed up logic to try and make me give her those earrings. I was seriously running out of patience with her, especially when she started to send me angry texts about how I was being selfish and greedy and that I shouldn't be so possessive of my things. She is a pregnant woman and deserves to get what makes her happy. You can see where this is going, right? She tried to beg, demand, and then guilt me into giving her my stuff. I was so tired of her antics that I was forced to go to my in-laws for help. I told my in-laws that Christy was harassing me and giving me way too much stress because she can't take no for an answer. I explained that the earrings were special to me, so there was no way I would be giving them to her. I didn't mention that the earrings also cost a lot of effing money and no one would be stupid enough to just hand them over to someone else. Elliot backed me up completely, and even he was tired of getting Chrissy to back off. It never worked because my sister-in-law never listened to Elliot in the first place. Only my in-laws were the ones who could get her off my back. But, to my shock, my mother-in-law, Jennifer, 50, female, told me that I was the one being dramatic about a pair of earrings. Mind you, she was informed about the fact that those earrings are super sentimental to me. It's not a random pair I bought on a whim. Still, she thought that I should have just given Christy the earnings to calm her down. She also sort of mirrored her daughter's words and told me that perhaps I should give her the earrings and let her keep it for a while since she is so desperate to have them. I am not a fool, so I said no to that suggestion. After a brief argument, Elliot and I made it clear that the earrings would never be Chrissy's. We were very disappointed when we left my in-laws' house that day. Since that day, I had mostly ignored Chrissy and her messages. I also stopped answering her calls because I simply didn't have the energy to deal with her anymore. Then, Christy suddenly stopped bothering me about the earrings entirely. I noticed that she didn't leave any texts or even call me. She wasn't bothering Elliot either. Both of us were sort of relieved that she had finally gotten the hint and shut up. We figured that she was probably angry with us, but accepted her defeat. Well, I was wrong about that. Oh boy, I was completely wrong about that. A few days ago, I went to arrange my jewelry drawer in the closet and saw that my earrings had gone missing. I was actually assembling all the jewels that I was going to wear to my wedding and keeping it in one place so that I wouldn't be looking around for everything. You can only imagine my shock and panic when I saw that the earrings were nowhere to be found. I immediately called Elliot and broke down crying while telling him about my missing jewelry. He came home as fast as possible and calmed me down before trying to figure out where the earrings had gone. At first I blamed myself and thought that I had misplaced it somehow. I did wear those earrings on special occasions and had worn them recently at another wedding. I was sure that I was the one who misplaced and possibly lost those earrings. I was an absolute wreck and cried my eyes out while blaming myself. But turns out I wasn't even the one to blame. My fiancé suggested that we check the house security cameras to find some clues on where I may have kept it. Now, you should know that we only had security cameras outside the house. We didn't have security cameras installed in the house. But we did have pet cams. Sprinkle is our dog, and he usually likes to make trouble when we're not home. Since both me and my fiancé work, we use the pet cams to keep an eye on our dog and make sure he's okay. We don't check the cams very frequently, but we do have the footage saved up in the cloud. Thank God my fiancé remembered about the pet cam and told me that we could just use it to figure out something. When we checked the footage, we saw that someone had stolen my earrings. It was Christy. Of course. This woman had actually broken into our home and stolen my earrings. She knew that I had attended a wedding wearing them because of the pictures I posted on social media. So she came to the house the next day, hoping that I hadn't put the earrings back in the lockbox. She was right about that. We had returned after 3 a.m. that night and had been too exhausted to function. We had work the next morning, so I sort of just put the earrings in a case and stashed them in a desk drawer. Yeah, I know that it was entirely my fault, but I hadn't really expected anyone to break in and steal just my earrings. But that's what she did. That's why there were never signs of a break-in, and nor did my neighbors report anyone trying to rob us. After seeing all the evidence, I was absolutely enraged. At first, I decided to call up Chrissy and tell her to return the earrings. I even gave her 2 days' time to get it back to me. She yelled at me and even yelled at her brother when he tried talking to her. After 2 days were up, I decided to go to the cops. I filed a report and submitted the evidence as well. Chrissy was arrested, but my in-laws bailed her out. I did get back my precious earrings, but it also brought along a ton of consequences. Jennifer is now blowing up my phone, calling me all kinds of names. Some of my favorites are petty, bitter, jealous, evil, and cruel. I'm being compared to Satan himself. Elliot, of course, told his mother off and informed her that if she doesn't stop harassing me, he will start reconsidering having her at the wedding. That made Jennifer madder. Now she's accusing me of dividing the family and ruining everything. The amount of nasty messages I have received from her is insane. Chrissy was texting me too, but I blocked her without even reading a word. But Jennifer is still blowing up my phone and I don't know what to do about it. I have been receiving some threatening messages from unknown numbers too, but I keep blocking them. The problem is I can't really block Jennifer out of the blue. This is just driving me crazy. I'm also starting to rethink my decision to go to the cops. It has caused so much drama that I can't even concentrate on the wedding anymore. Did I go too far by getting the cops involved? Jennifer is screaming at me and saying that if Chrissy stresses out too much and loses the baby, it will be my fault. I just can't deal with all these accusations and threats anymore. Please tell me what to do. Edit. I've been getting some questions, so I made this edit to answer them. You guys were curious about why I am so protective of the earrings and refuse to part with them. I think I should elaborate on its history a little. The earrings belong to my great-grandmother. It's a family heirloom. My mom got married wearing it too. None of my family members are alive anymore. Mom and Dad died way back when I was in college. I'll be arriving at the wedding in my dad's old car, and I will be wearing my mother's earrings on my wedding day. That way, I would feel like both my parents were present at my wedding. The earrings are a truly sentimental piece, which is why I never planned to part with them. Chrissy and Jennifer are aware of all this history. They simply don't care. They said that I should value living people more than the dead ones. Yeah, I was very close to breaking down when they said that. Also, you guys wanted to know why I had ever made Chrissy a bridesmaid in the first place. We clearly aren't close, so I shouldn't have included her in the wedding party. Yes, you are absolutely right. I shouldn't have included Chrissy in the wedding party. Believe me, I didn't want to. Jennifer kept badgering me about it and said that Chrissy would feel unwelcome and excluded if I didn't include her. I had initially held my ground, which was why Chrissy had stopped talking to me for a while. Then she found out that she was pregnant. Of course she used her pregnancy to force me into accepting her as an honorary bridesmaid. Jennifer and Chrissy pushed me so much that I reluctantly said yes. She didn't do any bridesmaid duty though, and mostly just dissed my choices when I told her. So she hasn't really been too involved in the wedding. If you haven't figured it out already, she hates taking responsibility. Also, I forgot to mention in the post, but Chrissy is not attending the wedding anymore. We uninvited her and went no contact with her the moment she was out on bail. Elliot is just on the fence about uninviting Jennifer because, after all, she is his mother. Some of you asked about my father-in-law. Well, he's always neutral and has next to zero opinion on anything. That's why I never mentioned him in the post. Update 1. Hi there. Thank you so much for leaving those kind comments on my post. I received a fair bit of attention and have been really overwhelmed by all your comments. Thank you so much for your input. I already knew that I wasn't wrong, but I really needed to hear it from unbiased people. Your comments have really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Be sure that I am taking all your opinions into consideration. I'm going to give you a small update on this situation, but first I will address something that a lot of you have been talking about. Some of you guys were really concerned that Chrissy would retaliate and do something to mess up our wedding plans. I took those comments seriously and immediately called up all my vendors. I rechecked everything and set passwords after explaining a little about the situation. Everyone assured us that they would give us a call before making any final changes. They told us that family feuds like these happen a lot, so they are usually prepared to face these situations. The manager at the venue actually offered to help us hire security at a reduced cost. We took her up on that offer, so we have the wedding covered. It was hard having to go through every arrangement and make sure nothing was changed. Also, explaining this matter to people without giving away too many details was equally exhausting. I'm already starting to feel like Chrissy has ruined the fun for me. Elliot is trying to get me excited, but he is a little down as well. Our friends have been running around trying to host a joint bachelorette party because they know that we want to be together right now. Still, it just seems like all the excitement just left. There is actually another reason why Elliot and I have been so down. We had been wondering how there were no signs of a break-in. We never even noticed that someone had been inside our house. The two of us thought about checking the outdoor cameras to find out exactly how Chrissy had managed to get into the house. We checked the outdoor cameras and saw that Chrissy had entered the house using a set of keys. Now, here's the thing. Chrissy was never given a house key. Elliot is not close to his sister and didn't want her coming and going as she pleased. So, she was never given a copy of the keys. Who actually did have a copy was my mother-in-law, Jennifer. Yup. The same woman who has constantly taken Chris's side and told me that I was dividing their family and causing trouble over nothing. No wonder she had been pressuring me to take back the police case and had been crying to Elliot about how I was being unfair and a complete witch. This woman knew that one day she would be caught as well. I don't really think I can actually sue her or charge her with anything, but she did break a major boundary and encouraged my sister-in-law to steal from me. Elliot and I have been super mad after looking at the security footage. He's probably angrier than I am. Right now he is hell-bent on uninviting Jennifer from the wedding. He's also saying that he will be uninviting his father too, if he takes their side. He seems to be absolutely done with their crap. My poor fiancé has been very disturbed ever since we saw the security footage. It was bad enough that his own sister stole from his fiancé. The fact that his mother actively encouraged it and helped Chrissy is just rubbing salt into the wound. He hasn't really said much to me, but I think he feels embarrassed and humiliated about why his family did this. He does know that I made this post, but isn't really interested in reading the comments. I think he's afraid that people will criticize him for not cutting off his family sooner. I'm going to talk to him soon and calm him down a bit. I don't like seeing him this upset over something that isn't even his fault. Elliot and I will sit down and have a talk. We are also probably going to pay a visit to my in-laws after we decide what we want to do. If you are interested in knowing what happened after all this, you can leave me a message on this account. I might just make a fresh update if I see too many leaving DMs and comments. So I guess stay tuned. Update 2. God, you guys really love some drama, don't you? I'm not judging. I love drama too, as long as I wasn't involved in it. This situation might be interesting and even entertaining to you guys, but living through it has been a nightmare. Speaking of which, this nightmare just doesn't seem to end. After the last update, I sat my fiancé down and had a little chat with him. It broke me to see him so sad and upset. As I had suspected, he was feeling really embarrassed and humiliated. He actually said, "We have fallen very low in your eyes, right?" I assured him that I didn't lump him with his crazy family members, that nothing they would do would color my view of him. Some of you guys have really praised my husband for having a shiny backbone and for standing up for me when I needed some support. What can I say? He's an amazing man. Sometimes it makes me wonder how Elliot turned out to be such a good man while his sister is an absolute train wreck. Yeah, I already know the answer to that. I know that my in laws are partially responsible for Chrissy's out of control behavior. Not to mention that my mother in law literally helped Chrissy commit a crime. This is exactly why Elliot and I made the decision to uninvite Jennifer from the wedding for good. Before now, we had only considered this a possibility, but now we know for sure. Neither of us wants her at the wedding after what we discovered. With that decision made, Elliot called Jennifer and his father, Jerry, 51 male, and told them that they wanted to meet up. When we went to see them, it was clear that Jennifer had expected us to cave and apologize to them. Maybe she thought that we would withdraw the case as well. As soon as we sat down, she crossed her arms and said in a smug tone, "So are you two ready to apologize yet? Just so you know, I won't even consider this apology if you haven't taken back the case against your poor sister." I immediately saw Elliot look very angry. I think Jennifer noticed it too because she looked a little shocked. Elliot very angrily told her that she will not be getting an apology. He is not going to take back the police report. Jennifer then went on a rant about how we were being evil, how her poor daughter didn't deserve to be treated so badly. She also cried and said that I was already ruining their family, and we weren't even married yet. This woman actually had the audacity to say that Elliot should put a pause on the wedding and reconsider marrying someone who has been so cruel to his own family. I was sitting right there, guys. She didn't give a crap that she was telling Elliot to cancel our wedding right in front of me. This delusional woman actually thought that Elliot would listen to her. Even Jerry looked really shocked at what Jennifer said. I will say that Jerry hasn't really been rude to us or anything. He had been trying to act as a buffer but failed miserably. Sometimes the guy can be somewhat of a pushover. When his wife and daughter combine forces, he thinks that it's better to just stay out of the situation. Although I feel bad for Jerry, sometimes I also get mad that he constantly refuses to pick a side. In a way, he had been enabling them for a while. Jerry was trying to calm Jennifer down, but Elliot had already had enough by then. I didn't even have to say anything because my fiancé tore into Jennifer and told her that we knew about her involvement in the theft. He also had some choice words for his mother that shocked her and made her cry. I just sat there and watched while Elliot absolutely destroyed Jennifer. Of course, in the end, he said that since Jennifer had such a big problem with our wedding, we are uninviting her on the spot. He also said that if she tries to come, she will be kicked out. Elliot also said that Jennifer wasn't allowed to come to our house or contact us anymore. He was absolutely enraged and decided to go no contact with Jennifer for the foreseeable future. He also told his father that while he is not being uninvited, we would be going low contact with him too, because he is tired of having his father enable his mother and sister. Jerry didn't reply, but looked really sad when Elliot said that. Jennifer, of course, had a lot of things to say. She started to cry and said that Elliot was being unfair and it was absolutely cruel to uninvite her from the wedding. I think she didn't take the no contact part seriously at all. Anyway, we came back home and started to try and focus on our wedding planning. You all know that we don't have a lot of time left now. I'm still not sure about what is going to happen ultimately, but I think we have solved some of the problems already. I just hope that my wedding day stays drama free, but I am also preparing myself for problems. Update 3. Hi, I'm so sorry about staying away for so long. With the wedding date so near, I had a hard time coming up with the time to make an update. Most of the fun stuff happened after the wedding anyway. First of all, thank you so much for all the warm wishes for your future. I'm sure that you will be happy to know that my wedding went without a hitch. The added security was really a good thing because my mother-in-law and sister-in-law did try to show up. I was told that Chrissy had worn a white dress. They thought of everything, you know. Sadly, they were escorted off the premises and we didn't even know about it until much later. My maid of honor and Elliot's best man took care of it. Elliot and I had already blocked Jennifer on our phones and removed her from our social media. She did show up at the house a week before the wedding, but we threatened to call the cops if she didn't leave. She apparently didn't learn her lesson since she showed up at the wedding anyway. I guess she thought she could just steamroll her way into the wedding. Thank God we hired security. Now let's get to the fun part. After we came back from our honeymoon, Jerry showed up at our door. Jerry is my father-in-law, in case you guys forgot. Remember how I said that he rarely takes sides and is usually a doormat? He has decided he doesn't want to be a doormat anymore. He was at our wedding and he said that he finally had an epiphany when he saw Jennifer and Chrissy trying to get in. Apparently he had begged Jennifer not to create any more trouble and to try to get Chrissy under control because she was getting unmanaged. Jennifer, of course, didn't listen, and for some reason Jerry was really mad at her about that. He did some self-reflection and realized he had been a coward and should have left Jennifer a long time ago. As we say, better late than never, so he is leaving Jennifer now. The papers have been filed and served already. Jennifer doesn't want a divorce, but I don't think she has a say anymore. My dear mother-in-law is, of course, blaming it all on me, from what I hear. Chrissy and Jennifer are now panicking about bills and where to stay, among other things. Jerry is staying with us and their present lease expires in 3 months. There's also the fact that Chrissy's going to court soon and is having a baby. The baby daddy is involved but wants nothing to do with Chrissy. He saw her crazy and ran away as fast as he could. So the kid would probably have to stay with the father until Chrissy figures out what to do about her situation. Child support can only get her to a certain point. Her ex is also planning to use the police case as leverage to make sure Chrissy doesn't get full custody in any way. I don't know the exact details because this is all second-hand information from Jerry. He is a little busy with his own divorce, so I'm not bothering him about Chrissy much. It's wild to know that a pair of earrings blew up a marriage and ruined so many relationships. This is why people need to hold their children accountable, no matter how much they love their kids. Chrissy and Jennifer are still sticking together, but I don't know how long that will be. Chrissy doesn't really have a very nice job, and her daughter was raised to be lazy and entitled. All these points just meet the parameters of a disastrous ending. My husband and I won't be around to watch, though. God, it feels so nice calling him my husband. Elliot and I have both agreed to maintain the no contact indefinitely. We are a little extra careful because I'm sort of pregnant right now. I haven't told anyone since it's been like 4 months since we got married. I'm only 2 months along, so it's a little early to tell people anyway. Elliot and I are aware that Jennifer would be back at our door if she finds out about the pregnancy. We are sort of preparing ourselves for that. I know it won't be pretty, but I think we got this. And with that, I'm going to end this update. Again, thank you for all the good wishes, guys. This is going to be the last update, so please don't leave any messages asking for more drama. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.